to SEO Time Machines, the world's first operating system for your browser. I'm Dimitri, the creator, and today I'd like to show you the Speed Reader, which is part of our productivity suite. Now, this is the first Chrome extension that has 3D speed reading, which is a stereoscopic way of reading that actually helps you relax your eyes as you focus on the center of the screen using the RSVP method. So let me show you how to launch it, how it works, and the different functionalities. So this is different from the minimal reader, which I've shown you in other videos, in that the minimal reader strips back all of the distracting features and allows you to read. The speed reader is a RSVP kind of speed reader, and you can see if you've read any part of the page before, it will ask you whether you want to resume or start over. So there's kind of a built-in function so you can keep going from where you left off. And if you're familiar with the RSVP speed readers, this will be a familiar interface. You can choose different types of backgrounds. There are vignettes or no vignettes if you want to. There's all kinds of options. We do have the dyslexic font built in so that you can it'll help you read. We have letter spacing, focus letters. There are also lines above and below if you want to focus that way, and you can choose the thickness or the spacing of it. I personally don't have that because I use the 3D reader mode mostly. If you want to check it, then below this video, you'll find that down the page, there's actually an example of this reader working in 3D mode and regular mode. And by pressing spacebar, you can actually go through and have a look and experience this for yourself. I want to show you how to calibrate the 3D speed readers so that you can get a bit of an experience through it. Even just by watching this video, you'll see part of what I mean. So first of all, everything is a keyboard first approach, because the last thing that you want to do whilst you're focused in and reading, you don't want to fumble around for keys to speed up or slow down the word speed. And you also don't want to fumble around for keys if you want to stop or pause or skip a letter. So everything has a shortcut. In particular, and important for the 3D mode, we have these different backgrounds. So I tend to like either the hexagon with the vignette or these kind of backgrounds because they really help the words pop. And you can choose the color of the hue of the backgrounds and the size and the intensity. So whatever will help you basically dial that feeling in. And I'll show you how to sort of navigate through it. So if you have a look on the hotkeys, you'll see that in 3D mode, you have Shift, Alt, and right and left arrow keys. That will help you actually space the letters apart. And the way that you want to dial it in is by letting your eyes relax. And you'll see that in the middle of the screen here, these two words will coalesce into the middle, and one part of it will be more comfortable than another. In other words, you can dial it in by moving the words closer or further apart, and by changing the font size. So by pressing just have a look at so this is done with X and Z. So these shortcuts right here, I have it dialed in. That's why I don't normally have to search for the font size, because once you dial it in, it just sort of it stays there where it's comfortable for you. And you'll notice that as you're doing it, the letters will align into the middle, and it will just become a really sharp and crisp and clear image. And once you have that, you can just press spacebar and let it read. Now, obviously, if this is too fast for you, you can use the up and down arrow keys to move the words per minute like this, or you can use the Option and Shift and up and down arrows to move them in increments of 100. So all this is configurable in the settings menu, but when you start using it, I think you'll find that this is one of the most relaxing ways to read, and especially at speeds of 700, 800, 900 words a minute, you should find it very easy and useful. Now, obviously, not every single kind of text is useful for reading in this particular way. Some text is heavier than others, so you may only want to read parts of the text. If you just want to read a paragraph in that way, you can highlight the paragraph and either just write speed like this, read, and it will launch the speed reader with your particular settings, or you can right click it. So you can highlight it, right click, and there will be options to read from this section. Or if you just want to start reading from a particular section, you can also do it with the right click here. So everything is configurable, everything is launchable via shortcuts. If you want to launch it quickly and you do this often, you can save it as a favorite. So you can either favorite it so it's near the top, so now it will always be one of the first ones chosen, or you can configure a mouse trigger, because we have a mouse launcher feature in the operating system, so that if you just want to configure this very quickly, one kind of action can trigger the speed reader. You can also have actions using the mouse launcher that you can scroll all the way up or all the way down with just one action like that. So this is the speed reader, part of our productivity suite. And this is SEO Time Machines. Thank you.